It's good to know that you are alive and you are with us on ECWA TV Africa. This is from the Dailies. Thank you for joining us and good morning. My name is Sambo Solomon, and with me today on the show I have Joyce Iyakwari. Joyce, good morning.
Good morning, Sambo.
Morning, how are you doing?
I am fine, thank
Well, we sincerely want to apologize for starting behind schedule. We have the papers today to review, and maybe halfway into the program, we'll open our phone line so that you will call and then air your own view on what the paper is saying today, what the papers are saying today. I have the Punch with me, and it said, ASU threatens fresh strike, says agreed 22 billion naira allowance unpaid. And they said, and allowance not that of an association. Education minister is saying that hold government responsible if we go on another strike, says lecturers. You can find that on page 2. And then we have the story that says 4 banks borrowed 6.2 billion US dollars from foreign market amid dollar shortage. For business people, you'd like to know more, is on page 21. And then this says NSAS, 9 confirmed dead at Lekki Toll Gate, says Lagos panel. Says Army, the writer says Army likely used live bullet on protesters. If you want to know more, you can check page 2. And then we have the story down. It says bandit want education facility for children to drop arm. You wonder who is saying that. You've checked page 3 that you can read that story. Federal government order proved as Nigerian wrongly jailed in Cote d'Ivoire dies in prison. That's page 4 and page 5. Metal electrocutes lady in Obi Kubana's club. Police order autopsy. Ikoyi building engineers unveil preliminary report. Suspect structural distress orders. That on you can find on page 21. Joyce, that's what the Punch is taking today.
Okay, we'll go straight to Blueprint newspaper, and on Blueprint we have gunmen on rampage, kill Benue monarch's son, adopt daughter, and kill 15 in Sokoto, kidnap factory workers in Niger, attack Zamfara community for defaulting in levy payment. RCCG pastor regains freedom in Cross River, and Gumi builds school for headers. And those stories can be found on page 6, 14, and page 5. Then MOU, about 1 year after ASU threatens fresh strike, gives federal government 3 weeks ultimatum, urges government to honor agreement. Then we have Nigerian leaders lack intellectual capacity, and this is coming from Jega, and the story can be found on page 5 of Blueprint. CBN, EFCC, FCCPC orders to tackle loan sharks, page 22 of Blueprint. Mbaka to IPOB, Monday sit at home problem instead of solution, page 5 of Blueprint. Buhari, Lawan, Ganduji condole with Dangote over brother's death, and the story can be found on page 8 of Blueprint too. NCC raises the alarm over Iranian hackers targeting telcos, ISPs. FG records slight improvement in fiscal deficit at 1.9 trillion naira. NSAS panel submit report to Samolu, and this is after a year ago they are submitting the report to him. And the interest here is the big story, which says the gunmen on rampage, kill Benue monarchs, adopt daughter, is still about the insecurity, it's still about banditry, and it's still about the unknown gunmen that we're talking in Nigeria. And what captured my interest is the Gumi built schools for headers. And that story is on page 5. And you can see the big picture story on this paper today that says a school being built by Sheikh Ahmed Gumi for headers in Kaduna Forest is big on the paper. And you'll be wondering how the processes involved in building these schools. You know, if someone is to build a school, there are processes that you go through. You must have to get the land first, get the properties, the location and whatsoever, before you even start talking to the education, maybe the Ministry of Education and every agency that's in charge of owning property, and even approval for a school and what the school intends to do, you know, be it a private or public or whatsoever it is. And at the end of the day, even when it is all built, there are people that will come and supervise to see that, okay, it's in the guidelines with the education system of Nigeria or the country that you're building in. So you'll be wondering, what were the processes, you know, for that were allowed, and even the approval? And do we even know about this school, or when the structures were put in place, did the government know that this was happening? Even the agency, did they know that this was happening till it was all built? You can see it. It's all built and ready and already running.
Joyce, you see, it is high time we should start telling ourselves the truth, and then the right people should take responsibility. You just spoke, and you just laid the foundation that a layman can understand what you just said, because from the start to the finishing, definitely a particular ministry have to be involved. Because if you are buying a land, there's what we call town planning. Those who are in charge of how buildings are being raised, whether in local government or in state. There are people in charge, and they will tell you that this place is not a residential. This place is, they will tell you the specification. And then if you are building school, that's the reason why if you are buying a land in a wrong place to build a school, they will tell you no. Because school, based on the design, the town planning, school is not supposed to be there.
And this is in Kaduna Forest. You can imagine it. And these are the people that fight against education, against a lot of things in
the
Nigeria.
School, sorry Joyce, the school, the bandits are attacking, picking people's children and demanding ransom. Are they demanding ransom to build school for their children, or what? That's the question.
And did they ever ask the government that they want a school? That's the headers, because he's building a school for them. Did they ever ask the government they want a school, they want to be educated, and the government refused for you as an individual to go and build a school? And you know, it's funny that at the end of the day, you'll be thinking, okay, he has a lot of backing, and maybe he's just a face, you know, that is just like in our discussion. We say there is more to this man. Maybe he's just a face, and the federal government came out the other day to deny any involvement, you know, accusations that maybe they are in charge and they are the sponsors of these bandits or the headers or whatsoever. But we are seeing more progression in their networking. We are seeing more, will I say success now? Or I will just leave it at the progression. You know, one day is one thing, the other day is another. And today is surprising that even headers have a school in the forest.
It is built by someone that you can't even
built
question.
By someone that has been in the news, you know, with a relationship with them. We've seen pictures of him with them in the forest. We've seen exchange. We've seen so many things. And now he's building a school. And it's even coming out in the paper. Is Nigeria a joke? What are we really doing?
And someone is crying out there, or some people are crying out there for liberation for their people, for equal representation, for good governance. And then these people are being tagged with so many names, you know, being pursued, and you start wondering, who are the right people that we are supposed to channel our energy to fight and to make Nigeria work. Like in Kaduna, for instance, you know, the issue of banditry, you talked about the strategy that it will work, it will curtail so many things. And this is somebody that is for how long does it take to build such structure? Who gets the land? And who are the people that work there? And then if now it's working, who are the teachers there? Is it private? Is it approved by government? Even if it's private, you have to know the capacity of the teachers. Yes, are they capable to teach? Is it according to our own Nigerian educational system?
And what is the school about?
And what is the school about? You have to check, so that it won't be a different face, raising different thing entirely in the name of it's just a school that they need. The same school, you pick people. Okay, now you are clamoring for your children that they need school. And that's what you are holding as a yardstick to hold Nigeria to ransom. That you are saying that's what you want for you people to drop your guns. You've forgotten that there are people, innocent Nigerians, that work so hard to take their children to those schools. Those schools that you attack, you pick those children. It's not government that is paying those guys free. It will shock you, Joyce, that federal government colleges that we know, that when you are going, then they will give you allowance. Yes, they will give you allowance while you are there. But now, do you know that for your child to go there in some school, you have to buy decks? Yes, decks and a rubber chair to take to school. Are they not having subvention in our budget in this country? Because we know federal government colleges is owned by federal government. And then your child is going, a poor child from a humble background. And you pay up to 70,000 or 80 for all, name them, for a new intake.
It's so sad.
That's what is happening. So you look at it. If we didn't, we refuse to talk about these things that is happening, it will face us. Even the people that are responsible and they are quiet. I call, where are our the so-called people that have the tag of son in this country? Where are those private lawyers?
And you know, at the end of the day, they will tell you you should have hope in your country, have faith in your country, look up to the country, stop saying your country is not taking care of you. Also, many of these things, it's just that Nigerians don't have the faith.
Why can't they take the
like
children?
I always say.
If I would say, why can't they take those children? They are children to those schools that they are picking children and collecting
all
ransom.
I'll have to say on this issue is God will surely expose all evil. Let's go ahead, please.
It is well.
You can take the next paper, which is the
I have Daily Trust. The big story says troops kill 50 ISWAP, and then fighters kill 50 ISWAP in Borno, and as bandits execute 15 persons in Sokoto, attack Zamfara village for failing to pay levy in this country called Nigeria. Then you ask me, who are the people that are supposed to go to correctional center? Go and check and find out. Because in this country, there are some people that are posting, that like they are just posing, and then they are collecting levy. Aside from what
look at it this way, imagine a community, a peaceful community, all set up and all. Then you have the banditry and bandit attacking the community, or the gunmen attacking the community, or their issue is banditry. Then they even have the guts to give you a levy that you should pay, and it's about millions of naira that you should pay. Then the community is not did not maybe come to terms with it, or were not able to contribute that certain amount, and you're attacking them in this country, Nigeria. In this country where it has been, the federal government has come out to say in papers that it is Nigerians or the media that exaggerate the issues of insecurity in Nigeria. It is the media that reports that report over, like they exaggerate the report of what is happening. It is like they blame, they push blame to other things and leaving their priority, which is saving lives and property. If this thing is happening in a community, are you saying that the federal government doesn't know that this thing is happening? Or are you saying that words are not already out to the knowledge of people, the authority, that this is what this community is going through? That in their country, they are asked to pay levy in their own community, and when they don't pay, they are attacked and killed in their own community. I don't understand what is happening. I do not understand what is happening.
And you find out these people pay tax. They pay tax.
Just the other day, when we were talking about the herders and farmers clash, it was said that they didn't take proper permission before going to their farms. They were not able to pay some certain amount, and you'll be wondering who is governing that place. Are they these bandits? Are they the presidents of Nigeria? Are they the ones with the powers? You know, anything they say stands. You know, it's so annoying that every day we have to talk about this issue, and it's very important for us to always talk about, so that people will know these are the things happening, and people are tired. Imagine the lives of these people in this community, you know, being asked to pay some levy, not able to, and they're being attacked, you know, and killed in their own community. How are they feeling? How is life in that community? They are prisoners, even in the community. It's everything that the bandits say or the government say that they have to do, because they know they don't have any rescue. If we are talking about rescue or faith in the country, Leah Sharibu has lost faith. How many years ago she was adopted? And up to now, nothing is being done about her.
Leah Sharibu, you have the
Nothing is
Chibok
being
girls.
done about her.
Not all of them have been released, Joyce. You know? And so many of them, they are just innocent people that they don't even know what is happening. Whatever the grievances of the bandit, is it the right way? What happened to the law of the country? What happened to our constitution? We have a right way to channel. That's why when everything is happening, they said channel it to the proper, channel it right. So that
proper platform that
will
handle it.
So that your case will be looked into. That's why when it comes to issue of election, they say there's rigging, they manipulate the election. They will say, don't take your right by activating violence or inciting people to go against. You know, they said, do the right thing, go to the court and challenge it.
And talking about election, I just want to digress a little bit to talk to the viewers right now that if you have not registered for your to get your PVC, please go ahead, do it. Your permanent voters card, that is your right to even change what is happening in your country. And for those that have registered and they are yet to collect it, it is very important that you go back to collect your PVC, because it was rumored, it came out in on Twitter and on Instagram and so many of these social media platforms, that when you don't collect it, there are some people that rent those cards to rig elections or to have more counts on their own, like more of votes on their own side. And you imagine your PVC being used, you know, to elect somebody that you don't even want at the end of the day because they are rented. There are people that make money with it. Then after everything is brought back to the collection center, please go ahead, collect these PVCs. They are important.
Even if you will not use it, collect it.
Because a lot is going on in this country, and just like I said, it was rumored, even though it's not, will I say, yes, let's leave it at the rumored. Yes, it was rumored. So please go ahead and collect your PVC. If you may, I would like to move on to News Direct, if you're done.
Okay, I have this, that Ohaneze wants autonomous region. And then I think Buhari approved fresh 656.1 billion naira bailout for state as governors meet over Paris Club reform. You can go on.
Okay, on News Direct, we have amid high food prices, inflation dropped to 15.99%. Government figures are imaginary. That is a Hinderu. Government incentives yielding dividends. And this is coming from Professor Shegun Ajibola. Federal government should improve foreign local trades, efficient fiscal policy perspective, former DGLCCI. Food prices remain high as federal government moves to reduce prices. I hope so. Economic recovery, federal government to dispose 656.1 billion naira bridging grants to states. NERC to distribute 4 million free meters to consumers. NCC alert of hacking group targeting telcos, ISPs. Malamidin forced us to convert NNPC funds at 305 per dollar, 305 naira per dollar. This is coming from Keystone Bank, and these are all the stories on the Nigerian News Direct. And talking about food prices, which is still high, and well, the paper is reporting that federal government is on its way to reduce these prices, and I hope so. You know, it's difficult that when something goes up, you know, when prices go up, before they even normalize or come down to how it has been, you'll be shocked. It takes a long period. And just for example, let's talk about the kilo of meat now in the market. Back then we used to buy how much in Nigerian naira? 650, 700. Before you know it was 900. Before you know it was 1,200. And from the 1,200, a kilo of meat in the market is 2,000 naira. And you'll be wondering, how, I don't have words. Please, let's go on to your next paper.
Maybe they import the grass that the animals eat. Possibly, maybe that's it. And you know, with the imbalance of dollar, that can even affect.
And I just picked the meat, you know, as an instance, just to show how it has hiked. We have so many of that. Just recently, okay, is it a battle with the price of rice, you know, in the market, or is it beans? Just food stuff. Everything is on the high right now. I'd be wondering what is happening. Why do we have the hike? Okay, before where you even get the money to buy the food, what about your cooking gas? You have to struggle in everything you do just to feed in a day.
It will interest you. Just this this fuel saga now that is happening. Everything now. The transporters have already
and you know, we reported, we discussed it, was it last week on this show, where it came out in paper that NNPC, and they were advising that people should relax, there will be no hike, there will be no queues, no scarcity of what, but now we don't even see it to buy. And they said, I remember saying, I know Nigerians, even if you advise them, they are the ones living this struggle. They will go out and buy ahead of time because of the festive period. And I was right in it. See the queue, see the scarcity. You know, if they had followed the advice, okay, let me just sit back, they just advise, and you know, I have faith, I believe in these people. And at the end of the day, you don't even get their means of transportation. It's just shameful. It is. Please, let's move on.
Daily Independent has this on the front page to say, dip in oil output may worsen economy. And there's a writer that says, analyst says, drop may eat into fabric of earning as forex. And then you have this about ASU. ASU gives federal government 3 weeks. 3 weeks ultimatum, threaten fresh strike. And then Nigerians patronizing black market to procure vaccination cards. That's federal government are saying that, you know, headers kill 1,773 persons in 3 years. Benue Council chairman. And then want deployment of special forces at entry point into state. And then government attack Benue monarch, palace kill son, a dog daughter. That's so sad. That's so sad.
Well, moving on to the business day, we have NCC alert users as hackers target telcos. And still on business day, COVID-19 numbers seen spiking on Christmas travels. Then we have Ikoyi building collapse seen raising finance risks, and all these stories can be found on business day. And before we move on to the next paper, I would like us to take a break where we open the phone line for you, our viewers, to call in to make your contribution based on what we've been talking on the show today. Remember, when you call, please state your name and where you are calling us from, then go straight into your contribution. Stay away from your television set or turn down the volume totally so that we can hear you without interferences. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back and we're still in the studio. This is the program from the dailies where we analyze stories on the national dailies and news. We bring you the news and we bring you current affairs on our national dailies and the happenings in Nigeria. We've been talking about a lot of interesting stories in the studio today, and we just want to open the phone lines right now. The phone line will be scrolled on the screen. You can call us and make your contribution and even share your frustration or your input on whatsoever you want to share with us today on the show. My name is Joyce and Sambo is doing this with me, and we shall go ahead with our paper.
I have this day. I'll just take two stories, but the main one is saying, in damning report, Lagos NSAS panel says 11 killed at Lekki toll gate. And then it has this World Bank, Boko Haram caused economic activities to decline in Northeast by 50%. This day newspaper is carrying this story. Do well to visit your vendor and to read more.
About these NSAS reports, and you know, a committee was set up, that's the panel, it was set up last year, and to investigate and see what really happened. And this is over a year ago, like a year and 2 months, and it is now they are submitting the report. And even though you wonder why, but as expected, let me just say that. And we have the full list of the NSAS reports, as in people that were killed and the missing and those that were injured. And it's still on the Punch, which you took earlier. You can go into it.
Okay, we have Joseph on the line.
Yes.
Joseph, good
I
morning.
was telling Mr. Pirate.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was just that our president is no longer active. It's best for us to put a vote of no confidence on him. Every day, people are dying, killing every day. Okay, now we are saying that the community are paying a ransom to bandits. It's obvious that the government is no longer functioning in Nigeria. Please, alarm has been too much. Let us protest over this matter. The security in Nigeria is nothing to write about. Every day it is not anyway. It is not from Kaduna. It is not Kaduna. It's okay. Every particular day there is a killing. Please, I'm on the opinion to vote of no confidence on our president. It's no longer active. If it is at every come up and prove to us why these things are happening in some countries, in some states, in some villages. When the bandits will come and be giving a some of amount of money for the community to pay to them. It's not an relationship to so-called Nigeria. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Thank you,
from
Mr.
Ghana.
Joseph. I appreciate it.
Every day in Nigeria, someone must just die. It's as if you are paying or you are being used as a sacrificial lamb, you know, and you die in vain. They are just killed like a chicken on the road, and nobody is accountable for it. Nobody is responsible for it. Nothing is being said about it. Back then, when things like this happen, we hear speeches, you know, from people that are in authority to say, okay, they stand against it, they are on the matter to really fight it. But right now, it's as if nothing is happening. Anybody can just die.
We have Mike from Cameroon. Mike, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes,
Please go ahead.
The point I want to make is that I was surprised that the APC is winning all the local government election in Plateau State. In 2015, when this issue started, it's the very Plateau State that joined Say Baba. After that, Kaduna State, then Benue State. Then what is going on now? Farmland destroyed.
Oh, wow. I think we lost that.
We lost Mike from Cameroon. He's trying to talk about, I don't know.
The insecurity. No, he was making a point that when APC campaigned in all these states, I think they had the high votes in Plateau State, in Benue State, in Kaduna State. And right now, these are the states that have the APC leaders, but these are the states that a lot of people are killed, and these are the states with a high rate of insecurity. So that's it. But
Okay.
we have
We
another
have
call.
Sunday from Port Harcourt. Sunday, good morning. Good morning, Sunday. If you can hear us, please make your point.
Okay, Sunday, I think you should call us back. We can't hear you. And if you can hear us, please, when you call back, just go straight into your country and make your contribution. So we would like to move on. Are you done with your paper?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, on Daily Sun, we have ASU threatens fresh strike, gives federal government 3 weeks ultimatum. Then food prices soar, inflation drops to 15.99% in October. Page 2 of Daily Sun. Lagos NSAS panel awards 409.7 million naira to 17 petitioners and submit reports. Heard 186 of 252 petitions. This story can be found on page 4 of Daily Sun. COVID-19 fake vaccination certificates now in circulation. Federal government warns, and I'm just wondering if they are just realizing that now. Then government strike traditional rulers' home in Benue, kill son, adopt daughter. Then we have Kalu, Tinubu, others mourn Sani Dangote. Death of Nigerian in Cote d'Ivoire sparks outrage. Federal government demands full investigation. CGC places prison officials on red alert for Yuletide period. The story of interest here, there are so many stories here. We have the ASU threatening fresh strike, and we have the death of the Nigerian in Cote d'Ivoire. And it's so sad that nothing was done on her case, because this story is not fresh. It's just that her death is fresh. I remember I was following up with a story where her home was burgled, then with so many of her things stolen. She reported it to the police. She met the DPO who said it was, as in the person that stole the things is his nephew, and nothing can be done about it. Okay, we have Sunday back on the line.
Mr. Sunday, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Please make your point.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, the reason why I'm calling strike, ASU is threatening to strike, giving government, federal government 3 weeks ultimatum.
Yes.
I don't know, does the federal government will promise something after which they will not do it. But that is compromise. Because I understand the strike before now, and there were promises. They reached out to a point whereby they went back to work. Right now, they are threatening that the federal government have not done what they have promised. So, federal government should look into them, because by so doing, they are falling with the people of Nigeria's education, because the ASU people will not put attention in teaching them. So they should look into that before the ultimatum day.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
God bless
for
you too.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we should move on to the next paper.
Okay, I have the nation with me, and the big story is still on what Sunday is just saying. Federal government, ASU on war. I take it again. Federal government, ASU on war path over unmet demands. Varsity teachers serve 3 weeks notice to resume strike. Government implementing pact. We have this, let's say, NCC, Iranian hikers.
Okay, we have Anthony from
comment
Ghana.
on newspaper.
Okay,
Please
go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
please.
Yes,
talking about the head of the state they have for the forest. So I can say that what are we doing ourselves by? Why the government of the state is not proving good at, and they are coming out on everything that we act on them. Then so President Buhari himself well.
I think I can barely hear you.
We
The
are not
line is not really clear.
Your
Thank you.
reception is a bit poor and you are breaking. We can barely hear you. I don't know if you'll be more audible or you call us back on the show, please, because we want our viewers too to get what you are saying. Please do well to call us back on the show.
Moving ahead, NCC Iranian hackers targeting telcos, ISPs, saying that, and then government kill 15 in Sokoto community attack. That you can find on page 3. Inflation falls from 16.36% to 15.99%. Buhari governors Tinubu moon Dangote.
Okay, we have Martins on the line.
Hello?
Martins, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, please
My
go
name is
ahead.
Martin. Hello?
Go ahead with your contribution, please.
My name is Martin. I'm calling from Ninth Man.
Please go ahead.
I want to beg the ASU for the sake of the parents and the students. Please, for those of us who are supposed to graduate something like last year, we are still in school. They should have mercy upon the students. Please, that is it for number one. Then the other one I want to comment is about the inflation dropping. When they say that the price of good is going up. This one, we don't even need research or consult anybody. Common sense can tell us, because if you go to market now, I'm telling you, by the time you come tomorrow, they will tell you that the price has increased.
True.
So I don't know where the government is getting the statistics they are using to calculate the inflation and how the inflation is dropping. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for calling on the show. Okay,
Go ahead.
I would like to take the Guardian newspaper. Inflation decelerates, defies market reality, just like what the last caller said. And we have figures contradict global trend, was days ahead. Farmers warn, and this is from the Guardian newspaper. Address insecurity to save situation, federal government advice. Figures doctored to achieve predetermined objective. COVID-19 federal government restates December 1 deadline for workers to vaccinate. Government gets 3 weeks to meet ASU demands. Boko Haram seized Shiroro Rafi local governments in Niger State. Local airlines order 16 new aircraft at $1.2 billion at Dubai Air Show. Then we have, it's difficult to be impartial, objective without autonomy. And this is CJN telling Buhari on page 2 of the Guardian paper. That's all for the Guardian.
Okay, let me quickly take a few from the Tribune. The big story says, NSAS panel establishes killing in Lekki. Government set up 4-man panel on white paper. And it has a rider that says, committee to submit report in 2 weeks. Treated 235 petitions, awarded 470 billion naira to 70 victims. And then federal government demand probe into death of Nigeria in Cote d'Ivoire. You know, the story that you talk about. Now the federal government are saying they want to know exactly what happened to her citizen. I just pray that at the end, because you know, there's this signal.
Somebody's story trended on Twitter. Sorry to cut you.
No, yeah.
It trended on Twitter and a lot of tags. The Abike Dabiri was tagged so many times on the Twitter, and there was hashtag about it. Then she got to know, she found out, and she said, she made a speech and said they are on the case and they want to know what is happening to the lady. She even came out to give a report, like a progressive report of what is happening, you know. This girl was innocently charged. She didn't commit this crime. How will you steal what belongs to you and still report to the police station? And everything was out where she reported that the DPO said that's his nephew and she should take a settlement of 100,000 naira instead of 300,000 worth of properties because her television set was stolen. A lot of it was boggled, and a lot of these things were stolen, and she was to settle for a settlement of 100,000, where she refused. After her refusal, she left and she was arrested again and charged for so many other negative or things that she did not even commit, and for the stolen properties, that she was the one that stole it, and so many other things. At the end of the day, she was given 10 years imprisonment sentence. Then I think she served a year or two of the sentence already in the prison. She got an infection. Now they're saying, okay, she got an infection and she has been on admission. Then she died. What was the follow-up? If we're talking about it, what did the federal government do? This is our citizen in another country, Cote d'Ivoire, an African country for that matter. Why will you allow such thing to happen? Is it that, okay, we have failed in protecting our own citizens in our country? Why can't we look at the people outside? At least, even if it's to show face, look at how your citizens outside are offending. Know what is up with them. You don't leave them out for another country to humiliate them or to treat them inhumanly. Do you understand? Because there was a time she even reported that she heard some police officers talking that this one is a Nigerian, she will die in this prison. Do you understand? All these things she came out to report. It's not like it wasn't reported. When before Twitter was suspended, that's when this thing happened. And look at it now, we are talking and the federal government is saying and they are on it, they will look at what's really happened. It's so sad. It's so sad. Every day, the country must break your heart. And still we have hope. We always come out here to say we have hope. That, okay, even though we are angry, we are trying to tame it and suppress it, you know, to believe in this great Nigeria, to believe that, okay, there is something, or the federal government or authorities take charge of our lives, like, okay, they really care about our life. But every day we hear, even on this last paper, which I would like to take, scores dead, houses razed as 100-man bandits strike in Niger.
We have a caller from Lagos.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello.
Please go ahead. 30 seconds to make your point, please.
Please, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Every day we are here. Do we have government that listen to us? And look at what they are saying about the security in northern area, how they are demanding money from the people kidnapped. The type of security they send to eastern area during this election, why can't they send those ones to northern area? Ordinary election. Did you watch that video? Sending a lot of troops, sending it to Anambra State because as it is not good. All these things we have to look into it. It's not good. Now we have something in northern area. Why can't they send those things to them and tackle all these problems today? We are facing today gas problems, fuel problem, everything. Do we have government that listens? Some means that we don't have government. So what do we do then in our own life? We are talking about food hikes, everything. Now to eat is very difficult. You can eat on your own basis, on your own side. But what of other ones, the common one, and not eat? So all of you should please, I'm just appealing, if we have government, let them listen to us and solve this problem. Now they are talking about this phone they are using to connect. Why can't you use this phone to locate where these people are? That's the problem we are facing. But if it's an eastern area, it's Biafra, they will locate where they are. Why can't they locate those people where they are in the Bishan area so that they can solve this problem? Well,
So,
I said, God, may God help us.
thank you. And we say amen to your prayer. Definitely God will
Thank you
help us.
very
We
much.
will not lose hope.
And look what we have Eastern area. Eastern area, suffering. People are dying. They are killing us every day for nothing sake. Nothing sake. They are killing our youth every day in the Eastern area. It's not good. Look, people should look into this. It's not good.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. We sincerely
Thank
appreciate.
you very
Sorry,
much.
we have to cut you here because time is
Thank you very much.
fast running.
Thank you. Briefly on first news, gunmen attack Benue monarch, kill son, adopt daughter, scores dead, houses razed as 100-man bandits strike in Niger. Another set terrorizes Zamfara resident for defaulting in levy payment. And this is the big story on first news. Then we have another one which says, NSAS 9 persons were killed at Lekki toll gate, says panel, as Sanwo-Olu receives prop report. Then Zirukusu orders death, troop retaliate, kill over 50 terrorists in Borno. ASU threatens another strike, accuses federal government of reneging on agreement. World Cup qualifier Nigeria, Cape Verde in make or March today. Anthony Joshua Usyk rematch now April 2022. I hope I got that. USYK. Nigerian farmers now have 8.6 billion naira in agri insurance. 8.6 billion naira in agri insurance scheme. Mbaka to Buhari, Nnamdi Kanu must not die in detention. And these are the stories on first newspaper today.
Thank you, Joyce, for doing this with me. You have a word?
Yes, of course. I just want to plead to the authorities that are in charge of security and in charge of safeguarding lives. Please stand on your feet and see that all life matters in Nigeria. Every life matters in Nigeria. We should not give specification, or we should not give prominence to some and not look into communities that are a target of banditry or gun or non-gunmen. And we are talking about the levy that was given to a community, and all the community, was attacked. Please, let's stand up and do something. And to my fellow Nigerians, you should still have faith in your country and speak positive words to your country. Always put your country in prayer, because even the government needs support and our prayer in their dealings. Thank you for watching this show today.
Thank you, Joyce, for doing this with me today. And for our viewers there, particularly our callers, thank you so much for calling. We Joseph from Ghana, Mike from Cameroon, Sunday from Port Harcourt, Anthony from Ghana, Martins from Night Mel, and then one of our caller from Lagos. I couldn't get your name here, but we appreciate you. And for those that watch and drop your comment, we say we are grateful. Please keep doing this with us, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And to our ECWA executive, we want to say thank you for this medium. That is another way to really preach the truth out there. And we're doing our best to say it the way it is. Don't forget, keep praying for Nigeria. No matter what happens, God is faithful. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.